The entire journey has been quite interesting because we didn't get into it with any sort of preconceived notions.
It's almost like a playground in a way. You find whatever it is you're interested in and you have room to ideate and learn.
It's opening a new ways of thinking to me.
That's not the direction we thought it was going to go at all.
The Grand Challenge has been running for 5 years now in the School of Design. It's quite a unique project because it brings all the disciplines together at once, where we can look at a big planet problem.
This is the third ocean-related Grand Challenge at the Royal College of Art. And this year is about the City of London and the ocean. So we're looking at the impacts that cities have on the ocean and vice versa.
Most people probably wouldn't think about London as a coastal city, but of course it's defined by the Thames. Its history and its landscape have been defined by this river.
Most of the things that you buy and use and eat is delivered by ship. We're looking at levels of pollution, the throwaway culture, what happens when somebody flushes the loo at home. It's this landscape that we take for granted, but this is producing a real cause and effect, and that cause and effect is not seen.
It's very easy to feel far removed from the ocean at times. Like there's a sense of diminished responsibility. I think I also felt that way.
Finding those connections is important. If you look at it chemically, every water molecule is connected through chemical bonds to each other. So, everything from here to the ocean to rivers in America or in Asia, they're all connected.
The goal of the Grand Challenge is to support action and behavior change among residents and organizations around London. We want to raise awareness, but more than that, make sure people feel empowered to do something to protect their cities and the ocean.
Our entire project revolved around being able to foster a more stronger relationship between the community and their environment, which is the river and the oceans around them.
I think our entire idea is based on trying to give people agency.
We're inspiring more of an emotional change than a physical one.
Students are working with people they've never worked with before, with disciplines they've never worked with before.
It's a fantastic opportunity for them to bring all the skill sets and work together in solving the brief.
This is Habitat, a biodegradable salmon bone-based structure that provides shelter and spawning grounds for freshwater migratory fish in rivers.
We've collected pigeon poo and then converted into a material that will be used to filter out heavy metals in rivers.
A lot of people did stop us and ask us what the project was about and what we were doing.
We saw children running around the wetlands, and we realized that one of the ways children explore is through the sense of taste. And we were wondering, can we take that and apply it to other parts of the communities, like adults as well?
So we explore a variety of different endangered species through the box of chocolate.
If you're going to put an intervention in place into any sort of ecosystem or interaction, it has to be simple, it has to be easy, and especially within this theme where it's human-centered. It has to be easy for just humans to interact with. So that was something that was important to all of us.
All of us have different experiences that we've brought from our lives and being from different parts of the world.
My background is in mechanical engineering.
I'm especially interested in design research.
We have talents from service design, product design, textile and fashion.
You have a lot of different design languages in a way, so the terminology is not the same.
I think it is really important for each discipline to have a say, to have a voice in the outcome.
Place-based design is something we're emphasizing this year. Some of them are right on the Thames, and for them it's maybe a bit more obvious. But for the students who are outside of that core, they really have to make these interesting connections.
Do we focus at a street? Do we focus at a park? Do we focus more on a global view? We have the XR theme this year. You can use virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality. They can decide to make a game, which has, of course, educative components, which are trying to raise awareness.
It's a process of going incredibly broad, understanding a wide range of subjects and then narrowing it down into a very, very, very specific niche area where we can intervene.
Our proposal for Barking and Dagenham is essentially a floating network of decommissioned end-of-life river barges that are being upcycled and serve multiple purposes, starting off with a conservation center for pearl mussel conservation itself, since they are keystone species. We were really keeping in mind, like, how can we design something that is long-lasting, that is actually going to, be regenerative in the way that it functions and not just self-sufficient.
In terms of co-design, we have first discussed with students some strategies for community engagement around best practices, ethics, and how to actually find relevant stakeholders in different communities and different boroughs.
You're kind of understanding the system and how whatever intervention you're trying to make fits into like the wider system and community. Making sure that, what we're creating isn't just about like what we think is cool, but is actually beneficial to the people we're trying to create for.
We wanted to make sure that we came up with something that wasn't forced on the communities of Enfield. So it was really important that we were using our design skills to bring forth their voices and what they wanted, but we wanted to make it so it was a little silly. So we introduced this idea of masks.
We have the mood board with materials, concepts, and then we have 6 fantastic masks.
The idea of bringing masks was twofold. It kind of broke the ice, but it also made people feel more empathetic to different parts of their borough. So thinking about how do the birds feel? How do the rivers feel?
There's a lot more pollution now. So
we fly a long way and we fish out little fish.
They felt like they could walk away from this experience, and when they encounter a duck, a river, or whatever it is, that they think more from their perspective. So there are some lingering effects.
The NEMO project is a new economic model for world's oceans. And we're working with partners like the National Oceanographic Centre in Southampton. We're working with SSI, Sustainable Shipping Initiative. And as a decade implementing partner with UNESCO, we're working with them and other partners around the world. So our students have a really important role to play.
We can discuss climate change in a more positive light. So it goes beyond this individual pressure of being a perfect citizen, and it goes to working with others and empowering each other to make change.
I'm thinking I can use this to do some changes to my own hometown, my city.
Just truly great learning experience all in all.
We have seen students who've continued their Grand Challenge projects for multiple years.
Their thinking, their creativity and their innovation is fundamental to Grand Challenge, but it's also fundamental to the future.
I was absolutely stunned when our name was called out, because ours is a very speculative, long-term, futuristic kind of proposal.
It's unbelievable. Passion and ambition are what keeps an excellent team going.
We went down to Barking Riverside Pier. We saw the potential of what could be achieved there. Then we had to understand existing barges within the Thames system already. And then from that, we channeled all our research, all our influences into what could be possible within these barges. Anything of this scale that happened had to benefit nature and the ecology as much as it would benefit communities.
We can really make it happen, and the muscle can clean the Thames water. And yeah, it can help the city to become better.
We wanted to create that connection in between humans and the wildlife under the water surface.
The timeline that they give us is quite short, so that was quite difficult and challenging for us, but we worked very hard.
We went around to see what was disposed into the riverbed, picked one and thought, why don't we upcycle it and make it into something meaningful and valuable that can then remediate the pollution in the creeks. Also with the consideration of how the fish would love it as a home.
I think that's the most important part, that we really get to get into that creek and hear the story behind Deptford Creek.
It's extremely cold. And at that time I realized that there is a lot of things going on there.
The eel has been around for 15 million years, but they are critically overlooked and endangered. One of the major problems is that the eel are unable to migrate to the fresh water in the river because of the barriers. So we want to do something to solve these problems and help them find suitable habitats.
We really want people to appreciate their integral role within a wider ecosystem.
Yeah. If you do something that provides as a platform of sorts for the community, then that could be great. And something for the younger generation as well, that it could act like an educational campaign.
First time, it's difficult to work together. We have different ideas.
I can collaborate with my teammates, do an app design with Xinyu, and 3D printing technology from Rina. It's really special experience here.
To go all the way to this stage and to find out we were top 3, we were so excited.